Show me the incentive and I will show you the outcome. A quote from Charlie Munger. Charlie Munger said he learned an important skill in college and in the army. That skill was card playing. He's quoted as saying, "What you have to learn is to fold early when the odds are against you, or if you have a big edge, back it heavily because you don't get a big edge often. Opportunity comes, but it doesn't come often. So seize it when it does come." Charlie Munger was an American businessman, investor, and philanthropist. He was vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, the conglomerate controlled by Warren Buffett. Buffett described Munger as his closest partner and right-hand man. Munger served as chairman of Wesco Financial Corporation from 1984 through 2011. He was also chairman of the Daily Journal Corporation based in Los Angeles, California, and a director of Costco Wholesale Corporation until his death. Pre-construction condos in the GTA are a popular investment option for many of you. You learned why location and builder reputation were key considerations when looking into a project or projects. In today's episode, I'll address the third key component you should consider for pre-construction condo investing. That's incentives. Incentives are offered by builders are a key factor of purchasing a pre-construction condo in the GTA. Incentives offered by builders can come in many forms, and they can vary depending on the builder and/or the project. Some common incentives include discounts on the purchase price, free upgrades or free finishes, waived closing costs, and rental guarantees. Basically, these incentives are designed for you to invest in a unit in the development, and they can be quite attractive when you're looking to invest or purchase a new home. What are the benefits of incentives? First, a little story. So, I had already locked down the two key factors mentioned in episodes 10 and 11. The location was excellent. I was minutes away from parks, major highways, amenities like grocery stores, little restaurants, and in walking distance, not even 2 minutes from schools of all levels. And there were plans for public transportation to run just minutes from my doorstep. So check. That was the first thing I looked for. So if I wanted to sell, I knew that these features would be attractive to any buyer. Next up was the builder's reputation. With the help from my trusted realtor, I was able to research the builders and learn they had a great reputation and great building track record, meaning that they completed all the projects that they started. Double check. Oh, and to boot, I found out they had wonderful customer service and answered my bazillion questions. Okay, so bazillion is not a word. Well, they answered my questions with grace. And I went through that huge contract with a fine-tooth comb. Bonus check. So that's 3 out of 2 checks. And I didn't even get to the incentives yet. One thing I have to note is that I had also gone to 2 other builders to look at their homes to see if that was a pre-construction that I wanted to invest in. So this builder checked all my qualifications so far: location and reputation. Now to the incentives. The biggest for me was the interest rate. The bank that was a sponsor for the project was going to guarantee the excellent low interest rate until I closed the property. And that was regardless of any delays. And there had been a few delays. And at that time, interest rates had started to rise. I was able to have them reverse the elevation of the property, which turned out to be a very smart move. And then there were several other incentives, including the down payment schedule that was extended. Upgrades in terms of finishes, etc., were offered and received, and it was a great experience. And to boot, all of this was put in writing. To this day, I'm grateful for the advice of my real estate agent and cannot say enough about the customer service provided by the builder and their team. So now I'll get to the benefits of incentives and what you should consider when thinking of a pre-construction project. The biggest one of the benefits is the potential for cost savings. For example, a discount on the purchase price can save you, the buyer, tens of thousands of dollars. Also, it could be free upgrades or finishes where you can save some money, or if you had requested these upgrades, you would have to pay for these yourself. Also, another cost saving is the potential for waived closing costs, which can provide you with significant savings, as these potentially can add up quite quickly. In terms of another benefit, that could be the potential for increased rental income. So if you're not purchasing a pre-construction condo to live in yourself, and you're planning to rent it out, you could potentially increase your rental income. Some builders offer rental guarantees, which means that they will guarantee a certain amount of rental income for a set period of time. This can be a great option for investors, as it will provide you with a level of security and predictability with regards to a rental. Here are another list of about 13 incentives that builders may include or offer. As I mentioned, discounts on the purchase price, free upgrades or finishes, and waived closing costs. Rental guarantees, furniture or appliance packages, free parking and storage, and we know that this can add up. Also, you may see cashback incentives or free home automation systems, guaranteed occupancy dates, reduced deposit requirements, or longer payment schedules, as the case in my particular situation. There could be allowing occupancy prior to closing, capped development fees, and right to assign the contract with certain fees waived. So those are just some of the incentives that a builder may offer you as a buyer or investor. So I'd like to delve a little bit deeper in a few of them. So let's touch on the right to assign, or the assignment benefit. In the context of pre-construction condo transactions in the GTA, an assignment refers to the transfer of rights and obligations of a purchaser of a pre-construction condo unit to a third party before the unit is completed and registered. This means that the original purchaser, also known as the assignor, signs their interest in the unit to a new purchaser, known as the assignee. So, what are the benefits of an assignment for an investor or buyer? Assignments can allow investors to purchase a pre-construction unit at a lower price than if they were to buy a completed unit on the resale market. This is because the pre-construction units are typically sold at a lower price point than completed units, and an assignment allows the investor to take advantage of this lower price point without having to wait for the unit to be completed. Assignments can also provide investors with a greater degree of flexibility and control over their investment. For example, if an investor purchases a pre-construction unit and then decides they no longer want to hold on to the unit until completion for whatever reason, they can sell their interest in the unit through an assignment rather than having to wait until the unit is completed and registered. So this particular situation can be advantageous in a rapidly changing market where the investor may want to cash out on their investment sooner rather than later. Also, assignments can allow investors to choose a unit in a desirable development that might otherwise be sold out. By purchasing an assignment, investors can gain access to units that are no longer available from the developer, which can be particularly beneficial in popular developments where there is a high demand. And as I mentioned in previous episodes, when there's a high demand and you have the type of renter that you're looking for, this would be a great opportunity for an investor. It's important to note, though, that assignments typically come with additional fees and restrictions that may not apply to the standard real estate transaction. As such, developers may charge assignment fees to cover the administrative costs associated with processing the transfer of the unit, and the developer may place restrictions on assignments, such as limiting the number of times a unit can be assigned, or by requiring the original purchaser to obtain the developer's consent before assigning the unit. So in summary, assignments can provide investors with a range of benefits: access to lower price units, greater flexibility and control over their investment, and the ability to purchase units that might otherwise be sold out. However, it's important for you as an investor to carefully consider the potential fees and restrictions associated with assignments before deciding. Hence, that's why when a developer is offering an assignment or a low assignment fee or no assignment as an incentive, it's important for you to consider that option as it makes that particular project desirable. The next incentive that I'd like to delve into is related to development fees. So, development fees in the GTA are charges that are imposed or charged by municipalities on new construction projects. And these charges are collected and used to pay for services and infrastructure that's necessary to accommodate the new development. These fees can include charges for water, sewage connection, roads, schools, parks, and other public amenities. So if you think about it, when a builder is building a condo in a more developed area, the likelihood of these development fees to be large is lower. However, if a builder is building a condo unit or group of condo units in a less developed area where roads, sewage, water is not necessarily built in the infrastructure, you might anticipate that the development fees would be much larger. So, in the context of pre-construction condos, developers typically pass on these fees to buyers as part of the purchase price. So what's the incentive? The incentive is having capped development fees. So capped development fees are considered an incentive to investors because they provide a predictable cost for the development. When development fees are capped, the investor knows, so you will know exactly how much you will be required to pay, regardless of how much the municipality may increase the fees in the future. So it's important to know that the municipality may provide the developer with an estimate of the development fees, but once the development is complete, they will have a more accurate picture of how much those fees were or are, and that could be significantly increased. So having a capped development fee as an incentive is very critical for you as an investor to consider. This will help you to be more accurate in your financial projections, reduce the risk of unexpected costs, and increase your overall return on your investment. So, these capped development fees can make pre-construction condos more attractive to you as a buyer, as you will be able to purchase a unit at a lower price than if the developer were to pass on the full cost of these development fees to you. So overall, capped development fees can be a win-win for developers, investors, and buyers alike. The next area I would like to talk about with regards to incentives that would be important for you to consider is occupancy period. So occupancy period is the time between when the unit is ready for occupancy for somebody to move in and when the title is transferred to you, the owner or the investor. During this period, you will be granted the possession of the unit, but you will not yet be the legal owner. So you will not be on title. So what's the incentive? The incentive is allowing occupancy during this time. So this time between occupancy period and final closing, because it allows you to potentially start generating rental income or to move in yourself before the official ownership transfer takes place. This can be especially advantageous in high demand areas in the GTA, where rental rates are often high. Additionally, during the occupancy period, you as an investor may have the opportunity to sell your unit to another buyer, potentially at a higher price than you originally paid for it. So it's important to note that during this occupancy period, you as the investor are typically still responsible for paying the mortgage, property taxes, maintenance fees, even though you are not the legal owner. However, the potential benefits of early occupancy make it an attractive option for you as an investor, because you potentially could recover some of these fees if rental is allowed during this period of time. There are also some risks associated with incentives. As an example, some investors may overpromise and underdeliver on the quality of the finishes or the level of rental income that they promise to provide. So you as an investor and buyer should always do your due diligence, research the builder and the development before you make your investment or purchase. However, investments offered by builders can be a great way to save money and increase your rental income when investing in a pre-construction condo in GTA. However, as an investor, always research the builder and the development, weigh the potential benefits against the risk. So with careful consideration and the right guidance, purchasing a pre-construction condo can be a smart investment and further build your portfolio and ultimately generational wealth. So what next? Let me talk a little bit about HST rebate eligibility and the different scenarios that may occur. So if you're considering buying a new condo, it's essential to understand the HST rebate eligibility criteria. Here's what you need to know. As an investor purchasing pre-con in GTA, you will be required to pay the Harmonized Sales Tax, HST, on the purchase price. The HST rate in Ontario is 13% of the purchase price. However, there are certain scenarios where you may be eligible for an HST rebate. It's important to note that these rebates are not automatic and you must apply for them. There are specific eligibility requirements that must be met for you to qualify for each rebate. It's strongly recommended that you consult with a qualified tax professional or real estate lawyer to ensure that you are taking advantage of all the available rebates and complying with all applicable tax laws. Here are a couple of scenarios for your consideration. So you purchase a condo or you invest in a condo, pre-construction condo unit, and the question is, what if I plan on renting it out? In this case, you may be eligible for an HST rental rebate, which allows you to recoup a portion of the HST paid. The rebate amount is based on the purchase price of the condo up to a maximum rebate of $30,000. To qualify, you must rent out the condo for at least 1 year and provide proof of tenancy. Okay, so what if I plan on living in the condo as my primary residence? In this case, you may be eligible for an HST new housing rebate, which also allows you to recoup a portion of the HST paid. The rebate amount is based on the purchase price of the condo with a maximum rebate of $24,000. To qualify, you must live in the condo unit as your primary residence for at least 1 year. Again, you may have a unique situation, and consultation with a qualified tax professional is highly advised. This would be another professional you would need to add to your real estate investment team. Refer to episodes 3 and 4, where you can learn more about the importance of having a real estate investing team. It doesn't end there. It's also important to note that the Canadian Revenue Agency, the CRA, has an active auditing process related to HST rebates for pre-construction condo purchases. Some audits have identified cases of fraudulent rebate claims. The CRA's audit process involves reviewing documentation related to the purchase of the pre-construction condo, such as the agreement of purchase and sale, invoices, receipts, and proof of payment. The CRA also looks at builders' records and may visit the construction site to verify that the condo was indeed under construction during the appropriate time frame. I cannot stress how important it is for you to have good record keeping and have all the necessary documentation to support any claims that you may make or submit. If CRA determines that a rebate was claimed improperly, it may assess penalties and interest on the amount owed. In short, it's crucial to ensure all documentation and eligibility requirements are met before making a claim for an HST rebate related to a pre-construction condo purchase. I cannot stress enough how important it is for you to have good record keeping and have all the necessary documentation to support your claim. If the CRA determines that a rebate was claimed improperly, it may assess penalties and interest on the amount owed. In short, it's crucial to ensure that all documentation and eligibility criteria are met before making a claim for HST rebate related to a pre-construction condo purchase. In summary, incentives play a key role in pre-construction investing strategy. Understanding what types of incentives the builder offers is critical in your decision-making process. Not only is it critical in your decision-making process, understanding that these incentives are in writing in your agreement of purchase and sale is critical to ensuring you are happy with your purchase and you have the incentives that were promised and agreed upon within your contract. With these tips in mind, you can feel confident in your decision to buying a pre-construction condo unit in the Greater Toronto Area. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time. Like what you hear? Follow us on your favorite podcast app and leave a rating and a review. I'm thankful for the excellent work of my producer, Stories and Strategies. I have one last request. Please share this episode with one friend who you think this would help. Thank you.